Hello, welcome to Monday's class. We've got our usual pull exercises today. Let's see, we are going to use our dumbbells as usual. We are going to do, like last Monday, that lateral band walk. So either type of band would work, but I will give you the option if you don't have any bands in your house. So whatever you got will work there. All right, so just give it a minute for people to jump on. Like I said, mostly dumbbells, but if you have any kind of band, that would be ideal today. But you will just, I'll give you just a body weight one if you don't have any bands. It'll still work. Give it a couple more seconds there. A couple people jumping onto the live. All right, we should be good to go. So let's get our usual stretches in. So feet are hip distance apart, toes straight forward. Reach down, straight up, tip, and twist. All right, come nice and wide. Toes are still straight forward. Reach down, and twist. All right, all the way narrow. Same reaches, we're just switching up the foot positions here. Back to hip distance, but then externally rotate your toes. Same reaches. Okay, internally rotate your toes. Perfect. All right, so first exercise, we're going to go with our squat, our wide squat with our toes turned out, and then adding a hammer curl at the top. So depending on what your weights are, some people might need to stick with their lights, some people might go up to their heavies. You can choose your weight here. All right, so nice and wide, toes are turned out. You're going to hold the weights inside your legs, inside your knees. Squat down, so make sure you're dropping your butt. Don't just lean forward. Drop that butt. And then hammer curl, which means those elbows stay tucked in, palms are sideways. All right, squat, push those knees out over your toes. Hammer curl. All right, nice slow movements here. Curl up. Avoid, resist gravity on the way down. And 12. All right, next one is that lateral band walk. So I'll work backwards here. If you don't have any bands, you're going to do a body weight, just side lunge, okay? So step over to the side, squat down on that leg, and step back, okay? That's your version if you don't have any bands at all. If you only have the long band with the handles, just like last week, you're going to step inside in the middle, make your X, give it some tension, and then do your lateral walk like so. And then the band that I will use is the loop one, which goes around your ankles, so you have to step both feet in. Okay, get all the way over. We're going to go 12 steps each direction, so I'm going to stay on camera here. I'm going to do a couple sets back and forth to make up 12. But if you have a nice long runway, you can get 12 in one direction, go right ahead. Your hips are pushed back just slightly, kind of cushioning your hips and your knees. resist that slingshot effect on the way back. Okay, resist the band pulling you back. All right, so that's 12. Take off your band, get rid of that stuff. And then we're going to do our bent over row. So it's the one where you come down in kind of this bent over posture, but keep your back nice and flat. And then you're going to pull the weights kind of back towards your hip bones. Drop down, okay? I'm thinking probably your heavy weights, but again, it depends on what your exact weights are. All right, so we're going to get into that kind of bottom of the deadlift position. Stay right there, and then pull your elbows up. Drop it straight down, keep it close to your body, don't kind of swing out front. Just straight line, pull up. Ten, 11, and 12. All right, lay those down. Grab a little quick sip of water. And we'll go back to the beginning. All right, so we've got our wide squat, so toes are externally rotated here, fairly wide. Hold the weights inside, drop down, hammer curl. And 12. All right, so we've got our band work here, our band walk, or your side lunge if you don't have any bands. Okay, let's get our steps in. So butt back, knees slightly bent, big step sideways. Steps each direction, however you've got to make that up. Perfect. All right, so in our bent over row. Grabbing the dumbbells. All right, I'll do it in this, so you saw side view last time with the angle of my back. I'll do front view. Okay, so pull up to where you kind of wear a belt. Let it hang down. Staying close to your body. And 12. All right, that's round 2. We are going for round 3. Coming right up. All right, wide, toes out, squat, drop that butt to the floor, hammer curl. Push the knees out, don't let them collapse in. Push them out over the toes. those hips. I say cushion, I just mean like slight little bend. Nothing's locked straight here. Perfect. All right, that's it for those. We got one more with our bent over row. All right, let's just come down to, like I said, the bottom of a deadlift basically. Row up, squeeze between those shoulder blades as you pull up. Try to get those back muscles. That shouldn't be all arms here. Your back should be working too. And 12. All right, that's it for those. So let's see, we've got all dumbbells. We're done with the band stuff now. All right, I'll start explaining the next one because there is just a slight variation if you're a beginner or advanced. So if you're a beginner, we're going to do a reverse lunge. So if you're a beginner and you just want to step back about right here and then just barely squat down, the thing to think about here is keeping your heel of the front foot on the floor, and that's what you're pushing up. So when you squat down, don't let your knees go forward like this, okay? Keep your knee back and push your butt back. Okay, so that's the reverse lunge. If you want to take a nice big step and go down real deep, if you're an advanced, you can do that. But we're also going to add a rotation here, okay? So if you feel comfortable and you want to add on to your reverse lunge, you're just going to take your hands and you're going to twist to the outside of the forward leg, okay? So you're stepping back. Right now my right leg is forward. I'm going to twist to the right as I drop down. Okay, so just twist your hands, kind of twist into that hip as you drop down. All right, let's go. 12 on each side. This one is totally okay to shorten up your range of motion. You don't have to do the twist. You don't feel comfortable. Main thing is to think about pushing through that front leg, okay? Push that butt back and push through the heel as you stand back up. All right, switching legs here. Get to your 12 and switch it over. And 12. Perfect. All right, grabbing your light dumbbell. We're going to do a lateral raise, but we're only going to do it single-sided today, so you can really focus on this muscle, okay? So right here, your deltoid muscle. Try to keep your shoulders down and back, and then you're really just pulling up. Slowly let it come back down. Such a great exercise for building strength in these shoulders, but they get boring, so I try to give variations and single leg, single arm. Okay, get to your 12, switch it over. Remember, chest up, shoulders down and back, just up to shoulder height. And really think about this muscle right here. Contracting, slowly lower it down. If there's any clicking going on in your shoulder, chest up, stand up straighter. Give that arm space to move in the shoulder joint. Perfect. Zuckman curls. We've done them before, a couple weeks ago. So they're probably your light dumbbells. You're gonna go curl up, rotate at the top, slowly let them come down, okay? So your elbows are pinched in by your sides the whole time. Slowly lower. 11 and 12. Perfect. All right, take a quick breather. Water break, that's our second circuit. All right, back to our reverse lunge. Okay, choose your range of motion and decide if you want to do that little twist with it. Just gets a little bit more hip action. And 12. All right, other side. You're twisting the direction of the forward leg. And 12. Perfect. All right. We've got our single arm lateral raise. Stand up nice and tall, chest up to the sky. Raise up to shoulder height. Slowly drop it down. And 12. Okay, switch in. Make sure your body's staying nice and still. You don't want to like swing side to side like that. Okay, lock your abs in. So this is anything that's like a one-sided exercise is usually some core involvement. And I think that's 12. All right, little Zuckman curls. So palms up on the way up, flip them over, down on the way down. And 12. Perfect, that's 2 down. One more of those circuits. I feel like we need some music in the background. I tried that way back when I started, and then Facebook started flagging my videos because they're not my music, copyright infringement or something. I don't know if they've changed that, but I don't know, I'll look into it. All right, one more time. And go with that reverse lunge, with the twist if you like. About 70% of my body weight stays on that front leg as I squat down. And 12. Okay, other side. And 12. All right, lateral raise. Here we come. Chest out, shoulders back, and flap that wing. And 12. Okay, switching sides. And 12. And our last of the Zuckmans. All right, tuck those elbows in by the ribs. Curl, rotate, lower. And 12. Perfect. All right, that is it for our dumbbell work and our band work. We're going body weight, floor stuff, more posture than I'll say abs, core work, I'll say that. All right, so we are going to come down to the floor today in a face down position. Okay, we're going to start with those swimmers. You've done them in the past, but if you're new, hands are out over your head, legs are stretched out behind you. You're going to lift opposite arm and leg, alternating sides. Just a slight little pause at the top. Your head is looking down towards the mat. Okay, so you're not arching your neck up like that. It's kind of still in nice neutral posture. And alternate sides, back and forth. 12 on each side. All right, finish up your 12. And you're going to take your hands back by your hips. You're at about a 45-degree angle from your hips. Palms are towards the floor. You're going to lift your chest and shoulders just barely up off the floor, just enough to kind of activate those muscles in your lower back, mid-back, shoulders. Thumbs are up. Squeezing between your shoulder blades. And we're just holding this one. Hold it. Thing to think about here is pulling your shoulders away from your ears and your shoulder blades together. That's the two things, the main things to think about during this one. And of course, breathing. We always gotta be breathing. Couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, relax the upper body. You can even rest your head this time on your hands. And then you're going to take your feet, bend at your knees so your heels are touching together. We're going to do those heel squeezes. So it doesn't look like much movement here, but basically you're squeezing your heels together, pressing them together so hard that you feel your hips kind of push into the ground. Okay, so squeeze those heels, push your hips forward, squeeze your butt cheeks. Squeeze, 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 and relax. Okay, so about a 5-second pause. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. 2 more. Squeeze. Relax. Last one. Squeeze. And relax. All right. Take a couple deep breaths. And we're back to our swimmers. So arms are stretched out, legs are stretched out. I'm hitting something behind me here. All right. Opposite arm and leg. Lift, just slight pause at the top, and switch. And 12. Okay. Arms are now back by your hips. 45-degree angle out. Lift everything up. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. Few more seconds. Keep that squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. Feet are up in the air, bending from your knees. Tap those heels. All right. Keep the heels pressed together. You do have to open up your knees a little bit on this one. Squeeze your heels. Press those hips into the floor. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. 2 more. Squeeze. Relax. Last one. Squeeze it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. All right, so we have one more set left. Right back to the beginning of this one, your swimmers. Let's go. All right, finish your 12. Get back into that cobra position. Lift and squeeze. Pull those hands down. That'll get the shoulders out of the ears. Nice long necks, but you're still looking down towards the floor. Three, two, one. Relax. All right, we just have our heel squeezes left. Here we go. Tap those heels. Squeeze it. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. Relax. Two more times. Squeeze. Relax. Squeeze. And relax. Perfect. All right, since we're in this face down position, we'll start our stretches out with our child's pose. So sit your hips back on your heels. Walk your hands out. Okay, come up into cat-cow. So hands are right underneath your shoulders. Arch your back up. Drop it down. Back and forth. Excellent. All right, sit on your butt. Legs stretched out in front of you. And then just fold forward. Nice good stretch in the back of your legs here, your lower back. All right, let's bring your feet in so the bottoms of your feet touch. Let your knees fall open. Again, slight little forward lean. Okay, 90-90 stretch, so 90-degree angles, both knees, and then lean forward. Okay, switch sides. Same thing, 90-degree angles. Excellent. All right, so we've done our child's pose and everything face down, so let's go up to our half kneel. Okay, whatever knee is on the ground, that one goes up and over. Okay, bring that down. Switch it. All right, come up from the floor and then grab onto something for balance, pull that leg up. Okay, switch sides. Excellent, and then grab your hands behind your back. Pull your shoulders back. My shoulders are like slingshots this morning. It's definitely tight. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining, ladies. I will see you, so Wednesday, same time, different workout. We'll do our push stuff on Wednesday. Bye-bye.